When people hear about my solo travels, they often assume that I'm single or I have no one to go with. I've also heard people say that they wish they had traveled solo earlier in life because now they're in a relationship. So today I want to challenge this notion and tell you that you should travel alone despite your relationship status. I won't lie to you. The first few days of traveling solo can be hard. You're trying to figure out life by yourself and at the same time also trying to figure out the new place you're in. When you notice something odd or feel the rush of excitement surging through your body, there is no familiar person to share that feeling with. But I've learned that time fixes that feeling of longing, and you slowly stop asking, why am I doing this to myself? Time not only fixes it, but lets you grow to love that you're doing this by yourself. When I travel with my partner, we often attempt to chat with locals, but we also end up receding into our own little bubble. And when people see that you already have someone to talk to, they are much less likely to approach you or indulge in a deeper conversation. Solo travel can totally change how you interact with the place. You end up talking to more people, even as an introvert, or maybe I should say, more people end up talking to you. It's how I've built many unexpected friendships on my travels from Uzbekistan to Guatemala. Imagine if you could wake up one morning and transform yourself into whoever you want to be. No one around you knows your past, or how you normally dress, or where you belong. Traveling alone, despite being in a relationship with someone who knows you inside out, is a lot like that. Often on my solo travels, I find myself in a world where no one knows a thing about my personality or my fears. I can challenge myself, surprise myself, and experiment with myself if I choose to. At times like these, I've ended up hitchhiking in the Himalayas, hiking solo in the Ecuadorian Andes, and sleeping on the roof of a Mauritian home. It's only human to take someone we spend a lot of time with for granted. We don't hold back getting mad at someone we're always with, and we often fail to acknowledge how important they are in our life. I know many relationships that have deteriorated over time that way, and no, having a kid is not the solution. But when you spend time apart, on your own, introspecting about your relationship and what makes the other person special to you, you are bound to gain perspective. You are likely to value far more the time you spend with your partner. I've learned that the road is a great teacher, and among other things, it keeps teaching me that life is too short and unpredictable to spend some of it fighting with someone I love. I think every time I travel alone, I learn so many surprising things about myself, especially the things I don't do so well, like figuring out maps and directions, handling stressful situations without being able to control my tears, finding myself unexpectedly without connectivity, and dealing with particularly bad travel days. Learning to identify, accept, and work through my weaknesses has helped me gain some amount of emotional independence. By no longer feeling overwhelmed by the things that I rely on someone else to handle. As much as I try to stay optimistic on my travels, there are days when I curse my life and my choices. Bad days, incredible days, days when I'm unable to have a good chat with my partner, days when I realize the geographical distance between us, days when there is no one to challenge me to be more daring, days when I feel selfish about having epic experiences all by myself. Those days make me wonder why I'm choosing to live the way I do. Why am I that weird person who wants to revel in her own company? who wants to travel alone halfway around the world and live among strangers. These feelings surface every once in a while, leaving me conflicted. And yet I can't quite explain why I still continue to push myself to travel solo. Traveling alone has definitely helped me gain confidence in myself, build my self esteem, and value my independence, especially as someone who grew up in small town India and was constantly told what I could and could not do. But solo travel has also taught me a lot about my relationship, that we can support each other's dreams without sacrificing our own, that we can resolve any challenges as mature adults, that honesty is greater than any public certificate of commitment, that I can be emotionally sufficient and dependent at the same time, that I can chase my dreams without guilt and yet have a shoulder to cry on if I crash along the way. There are so many hopes, fears, expectations, disappointments on the road that I just can't explain to my friends or family. But having experienced some of them together, I can trust that there is someone I can call who will understand what I'm going through. That when I find myself disappointed or overwhelmed by a place, I will only hear words of encouragement, not worry or panic. That when I want to shorten a trip or walk away from an adventure because I just can't convince myself to go through with it, I will only hear words of support, not judgment.